The West Philippine Sea shimmers under the tropical sun. Its turquoise waters are dotted with over 250 islands, reefs, and shoals. Beneath the surface lies a vibrant ecosystem teeming with marine life. This maritime region has long been a lifeline for coastal communities. They rely on its bounty for food and livelihood. However, this idyllic paradise is also a region of simmering tension. The West Philippine Sea is at the heart of a complex web of overlapping territorial claims. China, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan all assert sovereignty over parts of this strategically vital sea. This dispute is not just about lines on a map. It is about resources, national pride, and the delicate balance of power in the Asia-Pacific. The stakes are high, with potential ramifications for regional stability and global trade. The West Philippine Sea is a critical waterway for international shipping. It is also believed to hold vast reserves of oil and natural gas. This makes it a highly contested prize in an era of growing resource scarcity. The struggle for control of the West Philippine Sea is a microcosm of the broader geopolitical shifts occurring in the 21st century. The history of the West Philippine Sea is a tapestry woven with threads of trade, colonization, and conflict. For centuries, this maritime region has served as a vital artery for commerce. Ancient mariners from China, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East navigated these waters. They traded spices, silks, and other precious goods. The sea became a conduit for cultural exchange, connecting distant civilizations.
The arrival of European colonial powers in the 16th century added a new layer of complexity to the region's history. Spain colonized the Philippines, asserting control over its surrounding waters. Other colonial powers, including France, Britain, and the Netherlands, established their own spheres of influence in Southeast Asia. These colonial claims often overlapped, creating a legacy of contested boundaries that continues to shape the region today. The West Philippine Sea dispute is, in many ways, a product of this complex colonial past.
At the heart of the current dispute lies China's expansive claim to the South China Sea, demarcated by the infamous Nine-Dash Line. This ambiguous line, first appearing on Chinese maps in the 1940s, encompasses a vast swath of the sea, including areas close to the coastlines of neighboring countries. China claims historical sovereignty over these waters based on ancient maps and records. However, these claims lack clear geographic coordinates and are disputed by international law. The Philippines in particular contests China's claims. The 2016 ruling by the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague delivered a significant blow to China's position. The tribunal invalidated the Nine-Dash Line, affirming the Philippines' sovereign rights within its exclusive economic zone. China, however, has rejected the ruling, calling it null and void. This disregard for international law has heightened tensions in the region and fueled concerns about China's growing assertiveness. The West Philippine Sea has witnessed numerous incidents of maritime standoffs and fishing disputes. Chinese Coast Guard vessels have been accused of harassing Filipino fishermen. They are often driven away from traditional fishing grounds within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone.
One of the most serious incidents occurred in 2012 at Scarborough Shoal, a traditional fishing ground for Filipinos. A tense standoff between Chinese and Philippine vessels ensued, with China ultimately gaining effective control of the shoal. These incidents have stoked anger and resentment among Filipinos. They view China's actions as a direct threat to their livelihood and sovereignty. The presence of Chinese maritime militia vessels, often disguised as fishing boats, further complicates the situation. They operate in contested waters, intimidating fishermen and asserting Chinese control. These maritime tensions are a constant reminder of the fragility of peace in the region. They underscore the need for a peaceful resolution based on international law.
Regional ripples, geopolitical implications. The West Philippine Sea dispute has far-reaching geopolitical implications. It has become a focal point in the US-China rivalry, with the United States asserting its commitment to freedom of navigation in the region.
The U.S. Navy conducts regular freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea. This challenges China's expansive maritime claims.
The dispute has also prompted Southeast Asian nations to strengthen their own maritime capabilities and seek closer security cooperation with external powers. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, has been engaged in negotiations with China to establish a code of conduct for the South China Sea. This aims to reduce the risk of miscalculations and prevent incidents at sea.
However, progress has been slow, and China's reluctance to commit to a binding code raises concerns about its true intentions.
Voices from the frontline Filipino fishermen speak out. The geopolitical complexities of the West Philippine Sea dispute are acutely felt by the Filipino fishermen who depend on these waters for their livelihood. They face daily challenges, from harassment by Chinese vessels to dwindling fish stocks due to overfishing and environmental degradation.
We are afraid to go out to sea now. The Chinese boats are always there, and they chase us away from our own fishing grounds. We are losing our source of income, and our families are suffering.
These personal stories highlight the human cost of the dispute and underscore the urgency of finding a peaceful resolution. The livelihoods and well-being of countless people in the Philippines and other Southeast Asian nations are at stake. The Law of the Sea, Navigating a Path to Peace. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, known as UNCLOS, provides a comprehensive framework for governing the world's oceans. It establishes rules for maritime zones, navigation rights, and resource exploitation. UNCLOS is crucial for resolving maritime disputes, including the one in the West Philippine Sea.
The 2016 Arbitral Tribunal ruling affirmed the Philippines' rights under UNCLOS, rejecting China's expansive claims. However, China's refusal to recognize the ruling highlights the challenges of enforcing international law.
Despite this setback, upholding and strengthening the international legal order remains essential for ensuring a rules-based maritime order. The role of regional alliances, ASEAN and beyond. Regional organizations, particularly ASEAN, play a critical role in managing the West Philippine Sea dispute. ASEAN has been engaged in dialogue with China to develop a code of conduct for the South China Sea. This aims to establish guidelines for responsible behavior at sea and prevent incidents from escalating.
However, progress on the code of conduct has been slow, with China often appearing reluctant to commit to a binding and enforceable agreement. ASEAN's unity on the South China Sea issue has also been tested, with some member states hesitant to take a strong stance against China due to economic and political considerations. Strengthening ASEAN's unity and resolve is crucial for effectively managing the dispute and ensuring regional stability.
Expert opinions. Deciphering the complexities. Experts on maritime security and international law emphasize the importance of dialogue, diplomacy, and adherence to international law in resolving the West Philippine Sea dispute.
The situation in the South China Sea is complex and multifaceted. It is essential for all parties to exercise restraint, avoid provocative actions, and engage in good faith negotiations to find a peaceful and durable solution.
Dr. J. Batong Bakal, director of the University of the Philippines Institute for Maritime Affairs and Law of the Sea, underscores this point.
ASEAN must present a united front and work with external partners to uphold international law and ensure freedom of navigation in the South China Sea.
Dr. Colin Koh, a research fellow at the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies in Singapore, stresses the importance of regional cooperation towards a peaceful horizon, dialogue, and diplomacy. The path to a peaceful resolution of the West Philippine Sea dispute lies in dialogue, diplomacy, and a shared commitment to international law. All parties must prioritize peaceful means of resolving differences, avoiding actions that could escalate tensions.
China should reconsider its rejection of the Arbitral Tribunal ruling and engage in good faith negotiations with other claimant states. The international community, including the United States and other major powers, should continue to support a rules-based maritime order. They need to uphold freedom of navigation and overflight in the South China Sea.
The future of the West Philippine Sea hangs in the balance. Will it be a sea of cooperation and shared prosperity, or a sea of conflict and division? The answer lies in the choices that China, the Philippines, and other stakeholders make in the coming years. A peaceful resolution based on international law is not only desirable but essential for regional stability and global security. The international community must work together to ensure that the West Philippine Sea becomes a sea of peace, not a flashpoint for conflict. The stakes are too high to allow this dispute to fester and escalate. The time for dialogue, diplomacy, and a renewed commitment to international law is now.